Hi everyone, this is Kris from the DIYdish.com, and I am so glad to have you here today for me to be able to share with you one of my favorite summertime projects, and that is making a garden stepping stone. I love being out in the garden, and one of my favorite things is to be able to make these stones very personalized, and you can really allow your creativity to flow and have a lot of fun at it. And the best part is, it really is easy to do. So let me get you started by telling you the materials you're going to need. First of all, you're going to want to pick up some kind of stone mix from your local hardware store. Now, before in the past, I've used a ready-to-mix cement, and it worked out great. However, it was a little pebbly in texture, a little too much more than I had wanted, and so this time I've opted to actually go with the ready-to-mix mortar mix. And I was able to pick this up for just a couple of dollars, and it's very easy to do. You add water to your mix according to the package directions, and you're ready to go. Now, the next question I oftentimes get is, what kind of mold do you use for your stepping stones? Well, the answer is simple. I bet you've got some old pans lying around that are ready to be checked. Why don't you go ahead and use those? Or you can even pick up the disposable aluminum pans. Those are great, have a nice depth, a perfect size, and those will work just as well. Here's an old cake pan of mine. When I use like a regular cake pan like this, I oftentimes like to line it with a little bit of plastic wrap and then add some oil to it, and the finish is perfect and it will come out nice and clean. Okay, there's so many different options, and I'd love to hear some of your ideas on what you have to use as molds for your stepping stones. The next question is, what are you using to decorate your stones? And this is where a lot of the fun comes into this project, because you can be as creative as you want. Now, you could pick up some of these mosaic chips at your local craft store, and they'll work just great. But one of the things I love to do is actually take an old plate that I either have around my house, or even one that could be picked up at a secondhand store or even a garage sale this summer. I was able to find this one for only 50 cents, so it's not going to hurt my feelings too much if I go ahead and take that hammer to it. When you want to break up a plate, the key is you need to do it on a hard surface. Cover the plate fully with a towel, making sure that the towel is one that can be thrown away. I wouldn't recommend using it later, because you're bound to have shards of that glass and ceramic in the towel, so don't go there. But you can wrap up the towel fully, take your hammer, just like this, and you start pounding that plate. Now, a little bit earlier, I went ahead and pounded it, got it started so that you could see all these beautiful chips that I now have to do some mosaic work with, which I'm really excited to do. Now, another idea you could do is actually pick up some marbles as well at any craft store or in the floral section of any store. And these make a great addition to your stepping stones. Maybe you want to even make them into some kind of picture or mural, and they're going to be beautiful. I just know it. So I've picked up some blue and some tan, and even a beautiful copper orange that I think is really going to look pretty in my garden. Finally, here's one more idea that I think you're going to love, and this is a way to really personalize your stones. Let's say you have some wonderful mementos from a family vacation you took this summer. Why not take some of those things and add them to your stepping stone? That's right, you can even take photographs and add them to your stepping stones. And here's how. All you need to do is take that photograph, laminate it with a hard lamination, making sure all of the sides are nice, tight, and sealed. And then you'll place that into your cement, and voila, you've got a great memento. Another idea of way to preserve your photographs is to go to your hardware store, pick up some plexiglass, which is really cheap as well. Have them even cut it to the size you want, so you don't have to worry about that step. Then take your photograph, place it on top of one, then place your plexiglass on top of that photograph on the other side, and now you have a nice sandwich of your picture. But before you stick that into your stone, make sure you take some silicone sealant, just like this, and go ahead and seal all the edges all the way around. Once that is dry and that picture is airtight, go ahead and have it ready to go when your cement is ready, and simply place it on top, making sure all the edges are nice and covered by the cement. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with that one. I even know grandparents who have done the same kind of a project with their own grandchildren, and I think that's fantastic. Now, one more thought. It's always fun, and it's such a classic idea, to be able to take a child's handprint or footprint and place it in there. And I would definitely recommend that if you do, a great safe way to do that is to actually take your plastic wrap, saran wrap that you'd find in the kitchen, and use that to place a barrier between your child's hand and the cement, and it's going to be just perfect for your little memento of your children. So anyway, those are some of my ideas, but I bet you've got a lot more, and I want you to be sure to come back to the DIYdish.com this week, because I'll show you the results of my stepping stones that I'm working on this afternoon. So be sure to come back and see those pictures, and I'd love to see what you're making as well. Bye-bye now.